What is going on, everybody? My name is Riley Turner, and today I've put together a free training video. It's going to be pretty special. We're going to be going over my 4 exact secrets to creating a successful Amazon FBA business. So since 2016, I've tested and launched a whole bunch of different products and successful brands, ultimately taking me to where I am here today on the internet, sharing my exact system with anyone who is willing to learn. So over my many years of selling, I've been able to create a system that has caught on to many great selling trends that ultimately led me to tens of thousands of sales and hundreds of thousands in profit, giving me a pretty good life at a pretty young age. And I never thought that would have been possible when I first started. And being grateful for that opportunity I came across years ago has now led me to sharing this opportunity with you guys as well. So hopefully you guys can experience the same results. I definitely never thought of myself as a teacher, probably one of the last things I would have thought of, but after showing my friends and family exactly how I was able to successfully sell and get them to do it as well, they pretty much pushed me into getting in front of a camera and to start making YouTube videos, sharing my own experience. And at that time, I thought there is no way anyone would want to watch me talk in front of a camera, especially since I am a pretty shy guy, but apparently I was wrong. And after seeing the great response to my videos and receiving a ton of comments from my subscribers and my viewers asking if I could personally mentor them or guide them through the Amazon selling process, I then knew I needed to do something more. So here I am sharing this free training video with all of you today. So the point is, I guess you never know, maybe one day you might find yourself in front of a camera teaching others this as well. Okay, so my goal here is to show you what you need to do in order to build a $1 million Amazon business from scratch. Simply put, I want to show you all the missing information that I wish I had when I started selling on Amazon. So I'm going to share with you the exact same system that my students used down to the finest detail, and hopefully you can achieve these results for yourself as well. Here's what we're going to be going over today in this video: how to find the perfect product to sell on Amazon, how to find and contact a trustworthy supplier, how to create the best possible product listing, and how to launch, market, and sell your first product. So if that is something that you are somewhat interested in, then this training is exactly meant for you. Quick FYI, this is a pre-recorded video. That way I can pack as much valuable information in the shortest amount of time possible, cutting out all the fluff and leaving you with only the high value content. But we are live down in the chat box. We can see all your questions and comments. So let us know in the chat box if you have any questions. And if I don't answer your questions, send me an email at riley@superioramazonseller.com and I'll get back to you within 24 hours or less. I'm pretty much always on my email helping students. So I will be looking forward to all of your emails, and also feel free to let me know where you're from. Let me know what kind of goals you have going into this, or let me know if you have any questions about this exact training video. Before I start reviewing my 4-step system, I quickly want to give you an overview of what you can expect in this training. So this training will be about an hour long. I know that sounds long, but I promise I'm going to pack this video with as much valuable information as I possibly can. And I also promise you'll feel pretty transformed with the dozens of actionable tips that you can start implementing right now into your business. So for the first few minutes, I'll be giving you a quick background about who I am and how I got started in this business, and about how you can get started in this as well. Then for about a half an hour, I'll be teaching you my tested 4-step system that you can use to start a 6 to 7 figure Amazon business. And no, I will not just be pitching my paid course the entire time. I will actually be teaching you things inside my paid course for that 30 minutes, and make sure to stay till the end for some discounts related to this training video. Then for 5 minutes, I'll be explaining what the paid course includes for anyone who would like to learn more beyond this short FBA training video, and also offer a discount for anyone who sticks around till the end. Then for the last 15 minutes, I'll be doing a Q&A. I will be answering a long list of frequently asked questions, and will also be here to answer any questions that you have with my email or in the chat box. Without further ado, let's just go ahead and begin the training. So first off, a little bit about me. For the past 5 years, I've been running my own successful Amazon store, selling to thousands of customers, and even still testing and implementing new strategies every day. And because of my own success on Amazon and the success of all my students, it then led me to work with name brands like AMZ Scout, Jungle Scout, Viral Launch, and many more other companies. I also run a YouTube channel with over 10K subscribers that I have organically grown over the last 3 years. And over the last 2 years, I have run my online course called The Superior Amazon Seller that has been teaching others around the world all of my secrets about making a living with Amazon FBA. I created this course to share with you my entire business model and how you can recreate it step by step so that hopefully I can continue to help more people create their own successful Amazon FBA stores as well. The Superior Amazon Seller has multiple successful students making 6 to 7 figures on Amazon. Also, many comments on my social media explaining how my content is easy to retain and straight to the point. Meaning, out of all the online courses on FBA out there, we are one of the most successful to enter this market. Thus why I feel qualified and obligated to share our ways of success with all of you. But I just want to point out that even though I've been able to make hundreds of thousands of dollars selling on Amazon, the average Amazon seller makes more around $5,000 to $10,000 a month. However, most Amazon sellers don't have the blueprint that I'll be sharing in my course, so hopefully I'll be able to help all of you become above average Amazon FBA sellers. My ultimate goal with this free training and my paid course is to help transform as many people's skills and knowledge so that I can help you turn your Amazon FBA business into a 6 or 7 figure online business. Now, before I share the free training, let me tackle a few of the most common doubts that people have by answering these frequently asked questions about selling on Amazon. How do I know if I'm qualified to sell on Amazon? Almost none of my students had any prior experience or knowledge about selling before they first started learning from me. And most of them being normal, hardworking, everyday people who are just looking for a better life. Same reason I started my business. So if I was able to do it and many of my past students were able to do it, then you most certainly can do it as well. What are the startup costs to create an Amazon business, and do I need a lot of money? You should expect to pay about $1,500 to $3,000 to start your business, and that includes all the tools, softwares, training, products, shipping, and marketing expenses. In other words, it includes everything that you're going to need. And the reason I gave you a range is, for example, some products cost more than others to start, and this is mainly based off of their size, weight, or type. But don't worry, we will be talking more about this in this exact training video. Isn't Amazon FBA oversaturated? Amazon is a $1 trillion company that shows no signs of slowing down anytime soon, especially after 2020, due to almost everyone having to shop online, and more than 50% of all online purchases being made directly through, you guessed it, Amazon. So today is 100% the best time to start, and I have new students who see that this is true based off of their own results on a day-to-day basis. How long does it take to find a product and get it selling? If you do have the blueprint already laid out for you and have someone who has already seen success guiding you, then this can be narrowed down to as little as 3 months. I've even had students who launched new products and did it in a 2-month time frame. Now that we got all the doubts out of the way, let's dive into the 4 steps that I use to build a 6 to 7 figure Amazon business. I highly recommend that you have some sort of notepad and pen or iPhone or iPad, whatever you can take notes on, because for the next 30 minutes, I'm going to be going super in-depth and giving you a lot of important information, especially if you really want to start an Amazon business. So now, without further ado, we are going to get onto step number 1. And as you can see, it is about product research. This is about finding you the best possible product to sell on Amazon to make you successful. And I got a little key right there with the word success on it, because arguably this is going to be one of the most important factors when you're selling on Amazon, is having the right product to sell. So you're probably wondering right now, Riley, how do I know what product to sell, or what things do I need to factor in, or how do I even find one? Don't worry, we're going to get into all of that right now. So to start this off, I want to give you the criteria that we have to look into when we're looking at potential product ideas. So the first one being sales, and this is going to simply tell you if the product has a high demand or not. So if you're looking at the current competition for the product idea that you have, and you see that many of the current sellers have very high sales numbers, that's a good sign that the product idea has a good demand, meaning that is good. And if the current sellers have low sales numbers, that is a sign that people don't really like this product idea, so you shouldn't try to sell something with a low demand. Pretty simple. It's one of those things that we kind of learned in school about supply and demand, so you obviously want to have a good demand for the product or service that you're going to offer. Now, on to the next thing is going to be review count, and the reason this is important for being an Amazon seller is you need to stay out of competitive products. And the best way to check for that is, you guessed it, the review count. So we're able to look at the current sellers for our product idea and see how many reviews they have. As an example, example, if you see all the current sellers have 10,000 reviews, 1,000, 5,000, whatever it is, if it's in the thousands, I recommend that you stay away from that market. And vice versa, the lower the review count, the better for you, because it's easier for you to compete with people with a low review count. Because remember, you're going to have a low review count on your product as well when you first start selling. So think of it like this. If you find a product idea and the competitors have thousands of reviews already, you're going to be the new kid on the block, and you're going to be competing with kids who are 7 feet tall and bodybuilders. So that would not be a good idea for obvious reasons. So what we want to do is we want to compete with people who are also new kids on the block, people with low review counts. So I hope that makes sense. On to the next thing, and that is star ratings. This is to see if the market is oversaturated or not. So when you're on Amazon looking at the current sellers for your product idea, and you see many of the top sellers have a bad star rating, maybe they have a 2-star or a 3-star, or maybe even a 1-star average rating, that is a good sign for you. That means that these sellers are selling bad products. The buyers have spoken for these products. So if they give them low review counts, that means they are saying that's a bad product and you shouldn't buy this product. So then you can come in and sell a product that is very similar, that is higher quality, and then you will take all of their sales. Huge opportunities in markets like that. Next, we have the size and weight. This is simple. It's going to show you how expensive it will be to sell the product. So the larger and heavier a product is, it's simply going to cost you more to sell because of things like shipping and storage fees and things like that. So we need to sell products that are smaller and lighter. Preferably, I tell my students to look for products that can fit inside a shoebox and are less than a few pounds. But that's not too crucial because you can sell things a little bit bigger or heavier and you can still be really successful. After that, we have price, and this will tell you if it is going to be in your budget or not. So if you're a new seller and you are on a budget, as I was when I first started selling, maybe you're on that $1,500 to $3,000 budget, you need to be selling products that are in the price range of $20 to about $50. Because if you try to buy things that are a few $100s, you're not going to be able to buy as many from your supplier, usually in China. So you want to be in that price range of 20 to 50 so you can afford to start selling it. After that, we have product type and category. This one's really easy because we just don't want to sell products that are banned or restricted, meaning Amazon doesn't allow you to sell them. So you could probably guess a few of these items, just things like drug paraphernalia, things that we don't want to be selling because Amazon doesn't allow it. Also, there are certain categories that are called gated categories, meaning you need special approval from Amazon to sell in that category. After that, we have patent, and this one will show you if you are legally able to sell the product or not. Products that are patented would be things like smartwatches, like the Apple Watch. Apple has patented their smartwatch, so then you're not able to copy things that look similar or function similar to the Apple Watch. Don't worry though, because 90% of the products out there are not patented. You just got to stay away from those 10%, and you have to know how to find that out. Next, we have sales history. So there are 3 different types of products that you could potentially start selling. There is a seasonal product, a trending product, and a steady product. So a seasonal product would sell well one time every single year. Think of your holiday types of products like Christmas trees or some sort of Halloween stuff. Then you have the trending product. These are products that sell well once and then never sell well again, or they don't sell well for many years to come. Think of products like the fidget spinner or the hoverboard. Those were all trending products. Then you have the last one, which is the steady product. This is what I highly recommend. These products will sell well every single year throughout the entire year for many years to come. And if you're like me and you like to make money throughout the entire year for many years to come, then these are the products you should be looking for. Now, lastly, we have the current sellers, and this will show you if you can compete with the people who are already selling your product idea. For example, if you're trying to sell some sort of shoes, you will be competing with Nike and Adidas. You should not sell products like that because these are massive Goliath companies, and it will be almost impossible for you to compete with them. Lucky for us though, you don't have to worry because about 80% of the products that you're going to end up finding won't have any massive competitors like Nike or Apple or anything like that. I hope you wrote this down in your notes because all these things right here are crucial. Now you're probably saying, Riley, you already gave me the criteria, but how am I going to implement that, or how am I going to find these products with that criteria? And that brings us to the special tools and softwares that I keep talking about. So basically we're going to be using tools and softwares that are going to do the work for us. They're going to be doing this by searching through all the millions of products that are already on Amazon, filtering them down and showing you exactly what you need to be finding. Sounds confusing, but it is very simple. So here we are on one of my favorite tools. It is going to be called the Product Database, and it is from a company called AMZ Scout. And hands down, AMZ Scout makes some of the best tools and softwares for Amazon sellers. I've used just about every single tool from every single company out there. As I said earlier in the video, I've worked with many companies and I've tried just about everything, but I've concluded that AMZ Scout has the most accurate tools, also offering a lot more features than some of the competition. Their tools are also very user-friendly and easy for new sellers to work with. So it makes my life easy because when I'm teaching my students or I'm teaching you guys right now, it's going to be much easier for you to follow along versus having some tool that's extremely complicated. All right, so enough talking, let's just get into it. So what we have here is we have the product database, and this is going to be the place that is going to find us potential ideas. So we do this by entering in our filters right here, and there are a whole bunch of different filters that you can be using. I already have most of the main ones filled out, so you guys can easily copy it if you want to follow along. So right here we have the categories. All the ones checked off are the categories I would recommend to you if you are a new seller. And all the other ones I don't have checked off are either gated or a little bit too competitive. So stay out of those ones and stay in the categories that I have checked off. Once you do that, then you can hit apply, and then the next thing I recommend messing with is going to be the price. And the price we want to do from 18 to 52. Earlier I said we want to find products that are anywhere from 20 to 50, but I'm going to give you guys a pro tip that I tell all of my students, and they'll probably get mad at me for sharing this, but I want to make sure that you do leave this video with a lot of good information. So what we want to do is 18 to 52, and the reason for that is most new sellers are going to be searching for whole numbers like 20, 30, 40, and 50. So if we simply drop those numbers by 2, so 18 or 52, we're going up 2 or down 2, that is going to find us a whole bunch of new products that all those other new sellers potentially would have not found. Simply put, you're going to be finding a lot of products that other sellers won't be seeing. You could even make that 17 to 53. You can move it up and down a little bit, just don't stick with whole numbers. After that, we have the reviews, and remember, we already talked about why we're doing these things, so now I'm just giving you specific numbers to be implementing. So reviews, I have it from nothing, so 0, all the way to 100. So that's going to be the sweet spot I recommend all of you guys to look into, to where it is not too competitive to sell in. Then down here we have the sales. I have it anywhere from 300 to 800 sales. So if you go too high on the sales, you're going to compete with products that are probably too competitive and probably too big of a market. So we want to do it anywhere from 300 to 800. 300 sales being the minimum, meaning we're going to make a pretty good amount of money, and 800 being a really good amount of money. So somewhere in the middle there is going to be the sweet spot for you to be looking into. Then we have the seller types. So you want to be clicking on FBA and merchant. FBA is going to be sellers like me and you. That means fulfillment by Amazon. That is where Amazon is doing your shipping, your customer service, packaging. They're going to be doing all that stuff for you, which is, in my opinion, the absolute best way that you can sell. And then merchant is going to be people who are selling like me and you, but they're going to be doing their own shipping and their own customer support and packaging and things like that. So I recommend FBA and merchant. The reason we don't have Amazon clicked on here is because Amazon sells things themselves, and they are really hard to compete with because Amazon is obviously a $1 trillion company. So we don't want to compete with some of their products. After that, we can now move on to the product tier. We want to do standard, not oversized, because remember, the bigger and heavier a product is, the more money it's going to cost you to sell. So standard size is going to be some of those smaller product ideas. Also, following along with that, we have the weight. So anywhere from 0 pounds to about 2 pounds, you can go all the way up to 3, maybe 4, maybe even 5. Just try 2 to start with. That's what I recommend. And then we have a few other things here that we can filter in, but those are some more in-depth things that we can't talk about in this video because this video would probably be 10 hours long. It's probably going to be too long already. So after we have all the basics put in here, we can then hit find products, and it will be searching through all the millions of products on Amazon and showing you all the products that meet that exact criteria that we just typed in. Pretty crazy how these AMZ Scout tools can do all the work for us, but I am definitely not complaining. It is pretty awesome. So now you have all these different products popping up that meet our criteria, and you're going to be scrolling through them and finding products that stand out to you. Now, I teach my students there are certain products that you should stay away from. For example, some of them being topicals or edible products. So those are going to require special approval from the FDA, meaning you need to regulate your product to make sure it's safe for putting on your skin or consuming. So we want to stay away from products like that, maybe products that are really electronic or highly breakable. These are all things that we want to stay away from. So as you're scrolling through all these ideas, you're going to start to see things that catch your eye and they fit into what I teach. So there's already some things that have caught my eye. For example, one of these gloves right here, it has some sort of Velcro on it. So it's for catching footballs with Velcro on them. It makes it easy to catch. That's kind of cool. Also, as a side note, you want to stay away from clothing. That is not a good thing to be selling. Then let me just click on something random here that catches my eye. What is this? This is a happy birthday yard sign. So we can go with this. Let's just look into it. So the next thing you're going to do after you find something that you want to look into further is you click on the actual link to that product right here. So click on it and it will take you directly to Amazon and show you that exact listing that has met our criteria. Now remember, this listing met our criteria, but we need to make sure that the actual product market meets our criteria as well. And the way we do that is there is another tool called the AMZ Scout Pro Chrome extension, and this tool will verify if this product idea is good or not based off of the market for the product. Don't be confused, I'm going to explain it all right now. So we have this product idea, it's a happy birthday yard sign. You first need to find out what the main keywords are for this product. So look at the listing title and remove everything that is not necessary. So top forever right here would be not necessary to include because that is the seller's name who is selling this exact product. And we also have 15-inch stakes right here. So that's how you stake it into the ground. That would also be not necessary. So the only things that are necessary here would probably just be happy birthday yard sign. So once you have that best product phrase, we can then go up to the top of Amazon, copy it and paste it in, and then search it. Now after that, very simple, you just have to scroll down and make sure that we search for the right product. So this is going to be right. They all look very similar to the product that we just found. So after we confirm that it is the correct product that we searched for, now we can look into it further by running that Pro Chrome extension. So once you download that tool, it will be popping up at the top right hand corner of your browser. Also, it will give you something down here that you can click on and it says AMZ Scout Pro. So you just click on this button right here and it will tell you if it is a good product to sell or not. So go ahead and click on that and we will see if this one is a good idea or not. So once the tool loads up, it will give you a pop-up like this. This is why I really like it for new sellers because it gives you an overall score. And I tell my students to look into products further if they have a 6 or higher out of 10. This one has an 8, so I may have potentially just found a really good product idea literally within 5 minutes. And this is exactly why there are so many successful sellers, because there are tools like this. So we have an 8 out of 10 score and it says likely to succeed, but we still need to dig into it further. And we do this by looking at things like the profit, the demand, and the competition. So it says it has a high profit, a good demand, and a medium competition. Now we can exit out of this and you're going to see a whole bunch of numbers that probably look really confusing to you. And you're right, it does look pretty confusing and intimidating if you are a new seller, but don't worry, my students pretty much catch on to this literally right after they watch my training videos, and especially when they start practicing with the tool itself. So remember earlier in the video, I told you what the criteria was, like the price, the sales, the reviews, things like that. This will tell us the exact numbers for each listing and what they are pulling. So you can see what the price is for all the top listings on Amazon for this product idea, which is the happy birthday yard sign. You can also see who the brands are selling it. So remember, we want to stay away from big companies like Nike, Apple, and things like that. So you can see who is selling the product as well. You can also see the estimated monthly sales. You can see the estimated revenue. So we can see some of these sellers are making $35,000 a month, $30,000, $13,000, $15,000, $25,000. So these sellers are doing pretty well. And just by using a tool like this, I'm able to see if it's too competitive for me to start selling a product like this, or if it is just right and I can jump into it and start competing in this product space and start making some of this big money as well. Now remember, I only have 30 minutes to go over my 4 steps and we're only on step number 1, so I can't share my exact strategies in this video with how I'm able to check if this is going to work or not. But just off of this, remember, it gave us an 8 out of 10 score, so that is a really good sign that this could potentially be a really good product to sell. But I verify that with specific strategies that I teach in my course. And don't be worried about finding your first product, because I only looked for 5 minutes and I found a really good idea right now. And just a quick glance at some of these numbers, it looks pretty promising already. But now I need to take you on to step 2. So step number 2 is going to be about sourcing your product idea. So once again, we just found that happy birthday yard sign. Now, how am I going to find a supplier to source that product from for a very cheap price so I can make a lot of money on it? The best way to do that is by using a website called Alibaba.com. Alibaba.com. It's one of the biggest companies in the world. You've probably heard of it, but if not, then we will be showing you how that website works here in this video today. And on Alibaba, we're going to be able to find a trustworthy supplier that we can work with. So I'm going to give you a few pointers on what a good supplier would look like. So a supplier must have timely communication. This means if you're emailing them or messaging them on WhatsApp or whatever you want to message them on, if they aren't responding to you within 24 hours or less, then you probably want to look for a different supplier. Because let me tell you, it's very important to have good communication with the company or supplier that you're going to work with. So the next thing you want to do is verify their company information. You want to see how long they've been in business. You want to see where their address is. Make sure it's a real location in China. Make sure it's a real address. Things like that. Pretty simple to do that stuff. You can also do something called a supplier audit. And supplier audits are a big benefit that my students get access to because they get access to my connections that I use for my own business that I already have established in China. So my connections overseas in China will work with my students and make sure that they're going to work with a good supplier, a trustworthy supplier. They do these audits kind of like how we verify the information, but they dig a little deeper. So usually they'll send someone out to that company's address or their location or their manufacturing facility and make sure that it is a legit facility. They'll also look into any complaints. Because they're in China, they have access to things that we don't have access to overseas. After that, they have to be willing to negotiate. So they have to negotiate their prices down to what we want them to be. If they aren't willing to negotiate at all, if the price is too expensive, then you might just want to move on to another supplier. After that, we need a fast production time. So we want to make sure that they're able to manufacture this product usually in less than a month. If it's like 2 months, 3 months, that means they're pretty backed up and I wouldn't go with that supplier. So find a supplier who can do the job and get it done within less than a month. After that, we have cannot be a middleman. So there are certain suppliers out there who are considered middlemen. So it's kind of like there is someone in between you and the actual true supplier, and they are just charging you a higher price, being in the middle of the transaction. These people are not good, sometimes scammers. So you want to make sure you really know what you're looking for, because I absolutely hate to see new sellers getting ripped off or scammed or working with bad suppliers. So make sure you know what you're doing. And if you have a supplier audit done, then you can confirm easily that they are not a middleman. After that, we have able to make modifications to the product. So if you want to change anything about your product, make it different in any way, different color, different sizes, different shapes, or whatever it is, you want to make sure that they're able to make those modifications. If you don't want to modify anything and you like the way that they have their product already, then you don't really need that, and that is just optional. And lastly, we have willing to work with our MOQ. If you don't know what that means, it stands for minimum order quantity. That's just the smallest number that the supplier is willing to produce or sell to you. So if they have a MOQ of 100, that means that you have to purchase at least 100 of their products in order to work with them. So if you're a new seller and you are only able to afford 100 of them, then they have to be willing to work with your order of 100. If they're not willing to work with it, then go find someone that will. This usually isn't a problem. Now we can go on Alibaba and look for suppliers to source our happy birthday yard sign from. Another benefit of having the AMZ Scout tools, either the product database or the Chrome extension, is you can click on this button right here and it's the logo of Alibaba's website and it says find product at Alibaba. So it will take the product image and search for that product image on Alibaba, searching for products that look similar based off of the image. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that and it will take us to the Alibaba website searching for that product image. Here we are, it's searched for this image and you can see there are a few pretty good things here, but if you want to make sure it is really looking for the best potential products that you can source from, I would probably just type in your product idea. So I just typed in happy birthday and I already see it right here, happy birthday yard sign with stakes. Let's go ahead and try that and see if we get any better options popping up here. And yeah, this looks like pretty much exactly what we're looking for. All of these would work. Let me just make sure that, yep, there's a whole bunch of good options here. So I'm just going to scroll back to the top and let's look into this a little bit further. So when you're looking into these, you can look at things like the price. That's obviously going to be a big factor. So it is 12 cents to 25 cents for this whole yard sign set, I'm guessing, the whole happy birthday sign. That means that you can source these for 12 cents to 25 cents. Usually the more you order, the cheaper the price. So if you're only ordering 100, you can see right here it says 100 pieces minimum order. So that would be the MOQ is 100. You have to order at least 100. So in that case, if you ordered the minimum of 100, you probably get them for the 25 cents each. Then later on, when this product is successful for you, you obviously want to order a whole bunch more. So if you make another order of 5,000 or 10,000, then you can get it probably for that cheaper price of 12 cents. So the more successful you are and the more product you're able to buy, the cheaper the price will be and the more money you'll end up making. Also look at the product images to make sure that they look good and something that you want to sell. So I'm scrolling through these. These look pretty good. So they're able to do all these different signs and they look just like everything else that we found on Amazon. So we can source these for 25 cents and we can sell it on Amazon for $30. Now, anyone who can do basic math here can see that that is a lot of money to be made. Now, once you find the supplier that you want to work with, you can go ahead and contact them and start talking to them. Now, this is where the negotiating comes into play. So you want to make sure you're communicating effectively and asking the right questions because there are certain things that you need to be asking. Now, in my course, I do offer my own templates to communicating with the supplier. It basically gives you the exact message that you need to send to the supplier, offering all the different questions, and it also gives some good negotiation tactics in there. So technically my template to communicate with suppliers is only for my paid students, but I'm going to go ahead and give it to any of you who have stayed till this point. So if you want it, go ahead and email me at riley@superioramazonseller.com and I will send you that PDF template for exactly what you need to send to your supplier. Only thing I ask is you don't tell this to my students because technically this is for paid students only. But they shouldn't be too mad because there is like 10 or 15 other templates included in my course as well. All right, so once you receive that template from me on email, or if you get into my course and you receive that template, you can go ahead and contact them, copy and paste it into there. You can also see above that, it shows their response rate. So 96.7% of the time they will respond to you. That's a good sign as well. Now there's also a whole bunch of other good stuff on here that we can look into further to make sure that they are trustworthy. And we can also click on their listing just like Amazon and it will take us to their listing and we can look into it further, get some more information and things like that. But this video cannot be 10 hours long once again. So this is how you find and contact your supplier. Very simple. There are some things that you need to know to make sure you're not getting screwed over. So make sure you do know what you're doing. Congrats on making it this far. We are now on step number 3 and this is listing creation. So I'm going to be showing you exactly what you need to include to have a perfect product listing and be successful with your first product. So you're probably wondering what a perfect product listing would look like. And first off, you need to have optimized product pictures. There's a whole bunch of factors that I can tell you about product pictures. Probably take me an hour to explain that. So just know that you need to have good pictures. You can easily have professional photography done for anywhere from $20 to $100. And I even offer my own connections to my students as well for photography so they can very simply get it done with very high quality. After that, we want an expert level title, bullet points, and description. So there are certain key strategies that you can put in place into your title, your bullet points, and description to make sure that it is very successful and it will stand out among your competition. In just a minute, you'll understand that a little bit more. After that, we need a relevant and strategic keyword placement all throughout the listing. We're going to talk a little bit more about keywords at the end of this video. And you also need to have a pro seller check over your work. So find someone who is already a professional seller and has been doing this for a while and ask them for their opinion on your listing. This is the absolute best way that you can make sure that your listing will be successful. So now let me go ahead and show you the difference between a bad listing and a good listing. So here we are back on the happy birthday yard sign, and I'm going to go ahead and try to find a really good listing and a very low quality listing to show you the difference between the two. This is hard for me to believe, but I didn't even need to look very far to find a bad listing. All I needed to do was check the top listing, and I see that this one is pretty bad, and let me explain why. By the way, this tool I'm using right now is also another tool by AMZ Scout. It's called the Quick View, and this tool basically allows you to view key information really quickly just by hovering over the listing, and it will give you all the bullet points. You can scroll down and it will show you a bunch of good info that you need if you are a seller. But I'll leave this tool to the course because we don't have much time today. So like I said, let me scroll down and go on it again for you. It is this one right here. You can see they have 700 reviews and they are selling this for $70. Remember, we found this exact product that we can source for less than $1 and this person is selling it for $70. So the amount of money you could make on a product like this is absolutely unbelievable. I kind of was just expecting to go over something random, but you know what? I'll take it as well. This is a pretty good idea and maybe some of you should potentially look into this, but do some some other research first that we go over in my course. So once again, if I scroll over the listing, it will give me all the information without even clicking on it, which is super helpful and saves a lot of time. So this is going to be a bad listing, yet they are one of the top sellers. You can see they only have 1, 2, 3, 4 pictures, and some of them are pretty bad. So you should always maximize the amount of photos that you have for your product. You should have at least 5 photos for your listing, and if you don't, you're pretty much just being lazy. You should also have key things in each and every photo and highlight certain parts of your product. The only thing that they really did right in this listing is give you the dimensions in one of the photos, but once again, I can have my photographer and my graphic designer make these photos 1000% better, and therefore it would get me a ton more sales. And even though this listing is already doing well, they can do much better. So the photos, not very good. Second off, the title can definitely include some more good keywords, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. And below that, we have the bullet points. So each one of these is a bullet point. These bullet points are small, they are not good, and I'll show you exactly what a good listing looks like now. So surprisingly, I had to scroll down a little bit to actually find a listing that was decent. It is all the way, let me see if I could find it again, all the way down here. So let me go ahead and hover over this one again with the quick view tool, and you can see this listing is much better. So you can see they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 photos. So they are not being lazy. Now look at this one compared to the other one. So this one shows the dimensions just like that other listing, but they go above and beyond by showing you some of the key features. They also show you people using the product, which is a good thing for social proof. We explain that in my course, don't worry. And it shows you a whole bunch of other good stuff as well. So whoever the seller is for this listing is doing a good job on their photos. They also have really good bullet points. You can see they have this green check mark. That alone will help you sell a lot more because it looks much cleaner and it attracts your eye a lot more. They also implement a few good strategies in the actual bullet points that I teach to all my students. The title is pretty good, but it could include a few more keywords. So I hope putting these two side by side gave you a really good idea of what a good listing could look like and what a bad listing looks like as well. And just by implementing everything that I've taught you over the last few minutes, you will be way ahead of your competition. I really can't even believe that I had to scroll down a whole bunch on the first page just to find one decent listing. And one of the top listings had a really bad listing, but that is a good sign for you because now you can easily compete if you know what you're doing. So we are now on the 4th and final step of this video, and that is the product launch. This is also a very important part of being a seller. This is where you're going to learn how to market your product like a pro. So how are you going to make money on your first product? There are a few things that you need to be doing for your product launch. Number one, you need to get your initial reviews. So you want to have at least 10 reviews that are all 5 stars. This will give you good social proof, meaning people will see that your listing has reviews and has good reviews. Therefore, they will be more willing to buy your product. A lot of new sellers struggle with how they're able to get their first reviews and especially positive reviews, but this is something that I go over with all my students in my course, showing you my exact strategies. Then we need to start running PPC campaigns. If you don't know what that is, basically Amazon allows us as sellers to advertise our products directly on Amazon. I'll be showing you this in just a second. Then we need to give away products to boost our rank. This is really simple. All you have to do is give away some of your products and that will increase your sales. And when you increase your sales numbers, that will also increase your rank. And the goal is to get your listing to the first page of sellers whenever you search for your keyword phrase. So if you're selling the happy birthday yard sign, if I type in happy birthday yard sign on Amazon, you want to be one of the first sellers to pop up because that's where you're going to be able to get a majority of your sales. So by doing giveaways, you will help get yourself to that first page. Then we want to learn how to run Facebook ads, do influencer marketing, and run Instagram ads as well. Now, these are all optional. This is something that a real pro seller would start doing, but for all of you sellers that are new to this, this is not necessary right away, but if you really want to make sure that you're making a lot of money, this is a good way that you can do that. I cover all this in my course as well. So after that, we need to always continue to optimize our PPC campaigns and keywords. Simply put, you need to always make sure you're checking your campaigns, your advertising campaigns, and you're always making sure that they are running correctly and efficiently. And you also always need to keep removing certain things that are not working and implementing new things that will work. So you're always kind of like testing. Then after that, we need to maintain inventory levels. This is really important because if you sell out of all your products, which can happen, then you have nothing to sell. And if you have nothing to sell, you're not making any money. I've literally had students do this and I teach them not to do it. So I tell them, make sure you have the correct inventory levels. I even teach them how to have the correct inventory levels. And I've still had multiple students of mine sell out of their products within their first week or 2 weeks. But you always want to make sure you have inventory coming in to make sure you don't sell out, because a lot of people always think, oh, there's no way I'm going to sell all my products in a week. And before you know it, you sell out. So don't be that person. Make sure that you are always on top of your stuff and make sure that you always have the correct amount of inventory ready to sell. So we're back on the Amazon page with the happy birthday yard sign still. I wanted to show you what PPC is and what it will do for you because I already talked about that. So basically it's our way of advertising directly through Amazon. And you can see right here, it says sponsored. That means that this person is paying for advertising to be here for everyone to see right at the top. And right here, you can see sponsored, sponsored, sponsored. That means all three of these listings are paying advertising money to Amazon in order to be seen at the top of the page, meaning you can get a whole bunch of sales without actually trying. So obviously the goal is to get your product to the top of the page as soon as possible so the most amount of buyers can see your product and end up buying your product. So like I said earlier, the best way to do that is through PPC, running advertisements on Amazon, and also doing giveaways and having those 10 good reviews. Now throughout this training, I've been using a phrase over and over, and that phrase is keywords. So throughout your listing, you need to include keywords, and also when you're running your advertisements, you need to target keywords. So when you target these keywords, you're basically saying, hey Amazon, I want to be seen at the top of every page for this keyword. And let's say my keyword is happy birthday yard sign. I can pay Amazon $1 or $10 or whatever each day, and then they can have me at the top as a sponsored listing like these three are, for the keyword phrase happy birthday yard sign. So whenever someone types in happy birthday yard sign on Amazon, I will be the first listing that they see, and then most likely I'm hoping that they will buy from me. And they will probably end up buying from me if I have a good product with good reviews and have a good listing like some of the things I already taught you how to do. So now to give you a better idea of what keywords are, how to find them, I'm gonna go ahead and take you on another one of my favorite tools. And this tool is gonna be the AMZ Scout Keyword Search. So this is gonna help us find tons of new keyword ideas that we can start to advertise on or include in our listings so we can get more views and get more buyers. What we want to start off by doing is going up to the search bar right here and typing in what our product idea is or what we are selling. So we're going to go ahead and continue what we've already done, and that is going to be the happy birthday yard sign. So once you have that typed in, you can come over to the next box, and this is number of words in a keyword. So there are normal keywords and there are long tail keywords. A normal keyword would be happy birthday sign or happy birthday yard sign, and a long keyword could be something like this: red happy birthday yard sign for girls, or blue happy birthday yard sign for boys. It's basically like a very descriptive version of our keyword already. So there are specific places that you need to include normal keywords and long tail keywords. So make sure you know what you're doing. I'm going to go ahead and save that for the course because we don't want to make this video too long. So you're going to put how many words you want to be searching for. I'm going to keep it at 2 and put it up to 8. And then lastly, we have search volume, but I'm going to go ahead and explain that more in just a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and hit find keywords. Now it's going to be searching through millions of Amazon listings, finding potential keywords that are related to our product. So here we go. It's going to pop up with all these different options. So we have happy birthday yard signs. We have happy birthday yard sign, happy birthday yard sign with stakes, happy birthday yard sign with stakes personalized, happy birthday yard sign with stakes, happy birthday yard signs for kids. So it's basically showing you different variations of ways that you can say your product. And again, the reason we want to include a lot of these different ways of saying our product in our listing, in our bullet points, in our advertising campaigns is because when your buyer is searching for your type of product on Amazon, you want to make sure that they are going to see your listing no matter what they search for. So if they're searching for happy birthday yard sign with stakes, you want to make sure you're popping up. If they're searching for happy birthday yard sign for kids, you want to make sure you are popping up. So that way we can gather the most amount of sales possible. And over here, this is our search volume. It will tell you how many times per month that people are searching for that keyword phrase on Amazon. So you can see happy birthday yard signs gets 33,400 searches every single month. And these monthly search volume numbers are really, really helpful if you know how to use them and implement them into your business. Now, I hope you have a better idea of what keywords are, how you can use them, the different types of keywords, and everything else we talked about already. So there you have my 4 steps to successfully selling on Amazon. Hopefully you learned some new insights, and even if you don't end up joining the full course, this should at least give you a good outline to go off of to help you know where to focus your time and attention. But if you do decide to start, build, and market your own Amazon business and don't plan on joining the Superior Amazon Seller, then I wish you the best of luck, my friend. I'm telling you from experience, there is no way in heck I could have built mine, especially not to the size that I have, without the help of my mentors who had already blazed the trail for me 5 years ago. And that's exactly what I'll be doing for all SAS members, is helping walk you through our blueprint step by step and being there to answer any questions when you get stuck. Now let's break down the course. Section 1 is going to be the course introduction. This is where I show you now how to structure your business and giving you my step-by-step blueprint that lays out the exact actions to follow so you stay on track. Now, section number 2 is going to be all about product research. In this section, you will be learning how to implement many different strategies, showing you the exact steps to finding your first money-making product to sell. So we will be deep diving into many different tools and key strategies that I use every day to find my own successful products. My goal is to help you through this process and get you a good product idea as fast as possible. Section number 3 is going to be all about suppliers and shipping. Just like we touched on in this training, you will be learning exactly how to find a trustworthy supplier and how to start negotiating and communicating with them effectively. I will also take you through the entire process on how you will create your shipping plan so you can get your products to Amazon for the lowest cost and in the fastest time possible. Section number 4, creating your seller account and your first product listing. Now in this section, I will be alongside you helping create your seller account so you can begin the creation of your first product listing. I cover every single detail you need to include into your listing to make sure your product will sell well as soon as it arrives to Amazon. Section number 5 is going to be about the product launch and the marketing. So I'll be teaching you my exact marketing strategies so you can easily implement what I have learned over my 5 years of selling, giving you a huge advantage over your competition. This entire section is dedicated to making sure your product is successful at launch. Section number 6 is going to be bonus secrets and wrapping up the course, going over things such as taxes, bookkeeping, legal structure, and how to make sure your business will continue to be successful over the long run. Because the goal should not only be to have one successful product, but to have many for years and years to come. So now that you know how the course works, let me show you some things students have to say about the SAS course. Anthony says, launched my first order 2 weeks ago. I used your launch strategy step by step and already sold 190 units. How can I speed up the process for my next order so I don't sell out? Also, I can't believe this is actually happening and I can't thank you enough. Also, check out what Oscar has to say, and what Andre has to say, what Thomas has to say, and what Lydia has to say. The Superior Amazon Seller is designed to help you make more money than you invest into joining the course. And I believe in my product so strongly that I have a 30-day refund policy, so if you don't feel like you're getting enough value out of the program, then I don't want your money. I only want your money for helping you make much more than you pay me for my knowledge. And if you implement what I teach, then I am confident that that will happen. Now, a couple of bonuses to be aware of on top of the training videos. All SAS members will also get access to our private Facebook group where you can learn from not only our methods of success, but other Amazon sellers and what they are doing to succeed as well. Our Facebook group for SAS has been deemed by many of our members as just as valuable as the content itself, as they learn so much from other members and get great feedback from other people in the group as well that are in the same boat as them as well. So lots of value to be had in our private community. I will also be available as your own virtual mentor. Again, I couldn't have built this business without a mentor of my own, and though I will have step-by-step instructions to help you succeed, I know you'll get stuck sometimes. So I'll be available to help you with your unique problems and share those issues and solutions with the rest of the group so everyone can learn from each other's mistakes and successes. I will also have various templates, outlines, and calculators to assist you in the whole Amazon FBA process to help you save time and not stress. On top of that, you will also be provided with exclusive discounts on essential tools, softwares, and services that you will be utilizing for your business, saving you hundreds of dollars in the process. Basically, I asked AMZ Scout if they would be willing to bundle all their tools together with my course and mentorship to anyone that makes it till the end of this free training, and they said yes. So now you will be receiving all the tools that you need to start selling with my step-by-step course and also also including my unlimited mentorships. Also, big thank you to AMZ Scout for hooking all of us up and giving us this bundle offer with my course and mentorship. Because they didn't have to do this, I'm not even sure how long they're going to allow this to happen. So if you do see this right now and you're watching this video, it is available. Just make sure you get in quickly because I'm not sure how long they're going to keep this going. All right, guys, there you have it. That is it for the discount. So if you'd still like to join, but you're having payment issues, or maybe you need to save up for another week or two, then you can shoot me an email at riley@superioramazonseller.com. And I will be happy to honor the webinar only price since you did make it till the end. But that's it for the 4 steps to making 6 to 7 figures selling on Amazon. I hope this training has given you some great insights on what it's like to become a successful Amazon seller. I also hope this furthers your guys' businesses, so get out there and start applying what I taught you today. And for those of you who have joined the SAS today, I look forward to mentoring you and helping you grow your business. But that's it for the free training. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for tuning in, and if you have any further questions, please let me know. I'll catch you guys in the next video.